So tonight we're going to be having a very amazing speaker. She's one of the most influential persons in this crypto space. She's the founder of Crypto Gem in the name of Joy Airende. She's going to teach us about the gig economy. The gig economy. If you're as curious as I am, then be ready to learn all about the gig economy. This is going to be the most impactful 25 minutes of your time this evening. So without further ado, we've already spent some time waiting for other people to join in. Without further ado, let's make welcome our speaker, our delightful speaker, Lady Joy. Lady Joy, please take the floor, take the stage. Thank you.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much,
Evening.
Mrs. Victoria Obaka, the one and only value delivery strategist. All right. Thank you so much for having me. I want to be sure that I'm heard. So if you can hear me, let's just engage in the chat box. And also, before we get started, I also want us, like she said, and let's do something. I've shared on my timeline, I've shared on Facebook, so let's go ahead and do that. All right. You never can tell who needs this that needs to be here. Okay. And your sharing might just be the game changer for someone tonight. All right. Okay. So someone is saying she cannot hear anything. I hope you can hear us now. So everybody, if you can hear me, if it's very clear, if my audio is very clear, you can just type something in the chat box. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Blessing, for your response. All right. So first, once again, I want to say thank you for having me. It's a privilege and an opportunity to be here tonight speaking on this amazing platform. And also thank you to our host for this opportunity. All right. So today we're going to be talking about something really interesting. Okay. I'm sure the topic of discourse today is not very unfamiliar with most of us, especially if you're in the blockchain space. All right. And even if you're not in the blockchain space, the word gig is something that is common amongst young people. Like if you just hit something now, let's say you just get a job. Okay, let's use a basic example. Let's say you're a graphic designer and then you just hit one job that is going to pay you your highest since you've started. You're going to be like, oh my god, I don't get 1 gig. You understand? So it's something we use loosely. It's something we play around with. All right. But today, I want to take an intricate look at what that word actually is. Okay, a lot of us say it, but we do not probably understand the intensity of that word or the opportunities hidden or wrapped around that singular word called gig. Okay, all right. So I'm going to be dissecting it. All right, I'm sure most of us did biology. Personally, I loved biology, but you see those practical sessions, I hated them with my heart. When we had to dissect a rat, they say open up the rat, separate the liver, the ear. Okay, someone is saying I should increase my voice a bit. All right, am I better? Is my audio better? Am I more audible now? I'm very sorry. There's a bit of noise in my background, but we'll see how we can minimize that. But I want to know if my audio is better. Can we hear me? Can you hear me clearly? Okay, awesome. I also tried to speak up myself. All right, so yeah, I was talking about how I personally hated those sessions back then in secondary school when we would be asked to dissect animals, dissect all of that. But when it comes to dissecting the gig economy, I really don't mind because it is not physical. All right, I like digital stuff, and I'm sure most of us here love digital stuff, and that's why we're here. By the way, if you know Victoria, then you should be in love with digital stuff too. All right. Okay. So yes, The gig economy, what exactly is it? All right, I have just established that it's a word we throw around loosely, but it also has a meaning. Okay, now if you maybe I don't know if there's anybody who studied economics here, but it doesn't matter now. But if you probably studied economics or you read economics a lot, right, just like me, you'd probably have come across something called the informal economy. Okay, all right. So there is the formal economy and there's the informal economy. So, one thing you should note, first of all, is that the gig economy is an informal economy, just like the word. Like I said, remember, I started by saying that a lot of us trade around loosely. Okay, which means it's an informal word. All right, so the gig economy is an informal economy. Now, the economy is like broadly divided into two. We have the formal economy, where you have the oil and gas, you have agriculture, you have education, you have electricity. That is the formal economy, right? But you also have the informal economy, and I'm going to explain the difference. Now, the informal economy is that part of the economy that is not taxed. Note the keywords, okay? It is not taxed, one. Number two, it is not monitored by the government, okay? And that's why we call it informal, all right? Because if you're referring to the formal economy, like let's use oil and gas for instance, of course, it's under the watch of the government, okay? Nothing escapes them. All right, that economy, that's industry rather, is taxed, is monitored, highly monitored, okay? Because of course it's the sustainer of the Nigerian economy right now. Okay. While we go on, I need to be sure once again that we can hear me. I wouldn't want us breaking, I don't want to keep talking and to find out that I'm not being heard. So if you can hear me one more time, please just indicate in the chat box. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Victoria. All right, so remember I said the informal economy is that economy that is not taxed, neither is it monitored by the government. And guess what? If Why do you think the government doesn't monitor this economy? It's because they feel like there's nothing much to it, okay? They don't regard it as anything serious. All right, they just feel like it's informal. Like, I mean, it doesn't contribute to GDP, so why should we even bother about it? But the amazing part, the informal economy has become the economy of the millennials. All right. Now, unfortunately, we're not doing economics tonight. So probably if we were, we'll be analyzing the contributions of the informal economy to Nigeria's GDP. But I want to tell you today that in as much as the informal economy is not exactly recognized by the government, it plays a crucial role in adding to our gross domestic product. Okay, now virtually everybody who is in the gig economy, we might not pay taxes directly, that is, the economy is not taxed, but you pay VAT. Okay, so when you go to buy stuff, and these days I even heard that in restaurants, like, I'm not talking big restaurants like maybe Kentucky Fried Chicken. No, I'm talking restaurant like Mama and Nkechi restaurant. They now add value added tax. So that's about it. You pay tax and everything. Okay, all right, so let's get back to what we're talking about. So I'm sure that is clear. If that is clear to you, you can just type it in the chat box. The informal economy is an economy that has two distinct features. It is not taxed and it is not monitored by the government. Okay, and we said the reason for this is because the government doesn't feel like it contributes anything or much to the gross domestic product. Okay, all right. Moving on now. um Now the informal economy right now, okay, before now we probably had more people in the formal economy. In the if you would agree with me, when you were growing up, your parents were more like, I want you to study medicine so I can be called the mother of a doctor. I want you to study accounting so you'll be an accountant. Back then our parents used to glory in this career path. Okay, so they want you to be a surgeon, they want to be a medical doctor, they want you to be all of these things because of the glam and the glamour that comes with it. All right, but here in our time, how many years down the line, in the era of millennials and you know every other generation that's come after the millennial, all right, we have more people turning into the informal economy. All right, gone are the days where you have people who are so crazy about studying medicine. Right now, you see people who studied medicine and surgery, and you know how demanding that course can be. Coming out and they're doing crypto. All right, so this is, excuse me, this is what we find right now. This is what is obtainable right now, all because the informal economy has begun to gain recognition compared to 10 years ago. All right. Now, another feature of the informal economy that you should note is that it is an economy or a sector. All right, let's use the word sector so it doesn't look like we're talking about an entirely different economy outside of Nigeria. All right. So it's a sector that is largely characterized by something, all right, low barriers to entry. Okay. Now, the informal economy is one that has a very low barrier to entry. And why is that? It's because most times the skills needed in the informal economy are not the skills that are given by formal education. All right, they're not the skills that are gotten in the four walls of the university. So this is why the barrier to entry for the informal economy is extremely low. I mean, the way the informal economy works, anybody can just wake up today, all right, and say, oh, I think I want to become a graphic designer. I think I want to become this. I think I want to become that. And then you do a few courses, or you might just go on YouTube, and that might just be it. All right, right now, YouTube is like the millennials' best university, and I'm sure you would agree with me. All right, so the informal economy doesn't require or 4-year degree, and usually the education that is gotten in the four walls of a university is not needed there. All right. Now, in case you're wondering, who are the people in the informal economy or the gig economy? All right. These are the people like you and I just mentioned the graphic designers, the freelance writers, content writers, web copywriters, the email marketers, all right, the blockchain developers, the blockchain, all that plenty career you have in the blockchain, community managers, all of us, right? We're all in the informal economy or the gig economy. All right, so I'm sure after today, you would understand when somebody says the gig economy, it's not something that is foreign, and then you also realize that you've been there all along. Okay, all right, so perfect. I'm sure we got that. Now let's look at why has the gig economy gained so much prominence recently. Like I said, 10 years ago, this wasn't the case. All right, we had more people who were into career. I'm going to tell us a short story, right? Excuse me, please. I remember when I decided to leave my 9 to 5 job. Now, this is a very funny story, yeah. I studied economics and statistics in the university, all right, and all through my 4 years in the university, I kept wondering, like, is any of this course or any of those courses is it going to be applicable in real life? Because it taught us a lot of statistics, probability. We did econometrics. I remember memorizing all this plenty stuff. Yeah. And I kept wondering to myself, is this even going to be useful? Well, after all, they said we should pass, so let's pass. Let's read and pass. You know, and that was it. I graduated from the university, and then I started working. Now, do you know the amazing part? I started working as a HR person. Did I study human resource management in school? No, I was in social sciences. I was not even in management sciences. So you would say, okay, fine, I had a management background. HR was something that came naturally to me. All right. And when I left school and I was 7, now this is also for core members. See, I have a lot of core members in my space. And if there's anything I tell them is that, see, that you see that 1 year that a lot of Nigerians despise and say, I don't want to serve. I don't want to serve. It's a waste of time. Honestly, right? If you're coming straight from the university with what they teach us in the Nigerian system, I bet you, I'm not even mincing words, you're not ready for the labor market. Quote me anywhere, you're not. Except, of course, you're probably studying, excuse me, applied sciences or physical sciences like medicine, where you get to do a lot of practical, or maybe you probably did engineering, and these things are applicable. But if you're coming from management sciences or social sciences and even some applied sciences, just know that you don't even stand a chance. Okay, Now, you see that 1 year that a lot of us despise is the year that is given to us to prepare for the labor market. If you will not leave with anything from tonight's talk, I think you should leave with this, especially if you're a core member. I cannot begin to narrate all the things I did during my service year. It was the kickstarter for me. It launched me into everything I'm doing now. It was my service year. So I'm not here to talk about the service year. But what I'm trying to tell you is that school doesn't prepare you for even the formal economy, right? Where remember we're talking about the formal economy, but I'm diverting right now to talk about a bit about the formal economy. I studied economics and statistics, and I don't think that what I was taught in the university, if I were to practice economics and statistics in real life, I don't think that would be applicable. All right. Now, back to my story. Okay, I said I got out of university. Now, when I was 7, I did a lot of certifications, right? So if you're here and you're a core member and you're on Value Corp, I beg you, see, she has a lot of resources. She's constantly giving out value. So I see no reason why. Well, in fact, when I was 7, now I think they were paying us 19.8, right? I think it was Victoria and I served together. We're in the same set, I think, right? So then we're being paid 19.8, and imagine the number of courses that we did, right? But now you have 33K, so please, you don't have an excuse. I think Value Corp's courses are very, very affordable. So if you want to help yourself, please, I'm very sorry, guys. So if you want to help yourself, please try and make sure you enroll for one before the end of your service year. It's going to help you a lot, especially in the gig economy. Now, let me tell you why I got a job as a HR person. Because most times, more than what you read, it is your skill that qualifies you for employment. Okay. Now, remember, I said I studied economics and statistics, but HR was something that came to me naturally. I'm a people's person. I'm a community builder. All right. I have a strength in building communities, in interpersonal relationship, in communicating with people. That's my strength. All right. So I got to my workplace for the interview and all of that. Saw my degrees and everything and all of that. Saw my certifications I got during NYSC. All right, but it was a HR position, and just from the interview, the interview was not even serious. I didn't even have to go through round like 1, 2, 3, 4. Just the first interview, and I was just told to resume. It was a quality. It was my skill. Now remember, it was something that came naturally to me. One, but I went ahead to build on it. Okay, by acquiring certifications and going through trainings during my NYC. All right, so rather than have a certification in maybe economics, I had a certification in HR. All right, in project management, in people management. Okay. Now, enough that, like I said, it is not necessarily your degree that is going to give you opportunities. It is your skill. And even if that skill comes to you naturally, it is your refined skill, not just your skill. Your skill in its refined state that's going to give you opportunities. All right. So if at all I had, very good people skill, but I showed up at that interview without anything to prove it or to show competence, I probably would not have gotten that job, even though I was qualified. Okay, so that's my wonderful story. All right, so the story is not over. Now, after a few years of doing my 9 to 5, I'm very sorry about that, guys. So after a few years of doing my 9 to 5, I during the COVID actually, I was already getting tired before the COVID. It was no longer challenging. I thrive on activity. I thrive on new, experiences, challenges. That is my life. I wouldn't want to say I'm an adrenaline junkie, but I love anything that spurs my adrenaline. Okay, so the job was becoming very boring for me. It wasn't challenging anymore, coupled with some other things. And I resigned. Okay. Now, I need to put up a disclaimer here. So you don't go saying, I heard it on Value Couple. She said we should resign at 9 to 5 and jump into the water. I didn't say that, okay? I'm not endorsing that action. All right. Because for me, it was just a very huge leap of faith. And it was because I was very convicted about it. Okay. So I resigned. Now, I resigned without a backup plan. Not like I had a stash of money stacked up somewhere. Excuse me. I didn't have a stack of money stashed up somewhere or anything. I was just tired. And, during the COVID, as I was home, I started asking myself, why can't I work from home? I mean, first of all, I don't like 9 to 5. I've never liked 9 to 5. And I'm sure 80% of us on this group or right now on this live chat, if we're asked to take a survey, I'm sure 80% of us will say we do not like our jobs. Okay? And so I quit my job. I submitted my resignation letter. My boss was like, he was astonished. Like, are you okay? I mean, this was a job where um let me give you a bit of background. I was going to be promoted, yeah, to the point where I was going to have an official car. I was going to have a driver. I was going to, the soft life, yeah. But I walked out of it. Like, in fact, I had to ask myself at some point, like, are you insane? Like, are you okay? like seriously. You're like, what's your problem? Are you sure this is not village people? Well, it can't be village people anyway. I'm a doctor of God. Okay, so guys, if you're still with me at this point, please drop a comment or drop an emoji. Let me know that I'm talking to people and I'm not just talking to myself and laughing out loud. Okay, awesome. So I worked out on the job and I said, okay, fine. See, I think there's something in this gig economy. I think I want to work from home, right? I think that I think I can do more. Yes, I know I have a strength in HR, but HR is not all I can do. Um, I'm personally, as a person, I'm somebody that really doesn't like to do one thing. I feel confined when I'm doing just one thing. All right, so I felt like I was being underutilized at my place of work. And I'm like, I can do so much more. Why am I doing just HR? And then HR became boring. Salaries, cater for staff welfare. I needed something challenging, and I left. Okay. In fact, my boss he gave me time to probably think about it and get back. Who walks away from such an offer? But I did. I was never going back. And guys, I won't even lie to you, and I won't even paint anything. It was hard. It was very hard. Like, I took a leap of faith. When they say when you want to test the water, you don't test the water with your 2 feet, with both feet. I tested the water. I jumped into the water literally, and I almost drowned. And it wasn't easy. It was difficult. Okay, because I had not even found my way fully around the gig economy. I just knew that there was something there. I was like Abraham, who left his house and God said, go to a place that I will show you, and I was just going. He had no idea where God was taking him. That's how I was. All right. So I started out, but I was determined to make it work. Okay. Now, another thing you need, whether you're in the informal economy or the formal economy, whatever you're doing, whatever economy, maybe you're in your economy, it doesn't matter. You need determination, honestly. I'm going to talk about, as time goes on, before we wrap up, I'm going to talk about the 3 main skills you need to survive in the informal economy. All right. So it's just like I'm going ahead of myself. So I was committed. I was determined to make it work. All right, that was when I found blockchain. Now, the funny thing is, I've known Victoria for I think how many years now, and I saw her doing blockchain, but I wasn't interested. Right? I wasn't. In fact, I used to have live meetings a lot back then, and I think there was a time when I invited her, and she invited somebody. We had a session on blockchain, and the guy was talking about, what does this guy even say? you know. So, but how many years later, I'm like, oh yes, blockchain. Wait, though. I know Victoria now. So I had to start finding my way back like the prodigal son, right? So I got interested in blockchain. I met people. I connected with people. Remember, I said I have a strength in thanks to God, for that strength. I started connecting with people I knew in my contact. Okay, this person. Okay, this person. I started exploring. Apart from blockchain, what are the opportunities in this gig economy? I see a lot of people say they make millions from Fiverr. What are they doing? What are they doing that I cannot do? They don't have tickets. All right. And so, like I said, I started my journey. It was hard. There were days when I was very broke. I was literally like I was broke, but I was committed to learning. Guys, it was not funny. I won't lie to you. Don't be moved by this magic butter voice. It was not funny. It wasn't funny. I was broke, but like I kept going. Any money, little money I had, I would pay for trainings. I would buy courses. I would buy data. I would download, and put it on my hard drive. I became an introvert. All right, spending virtually all the time at home, but I was, like I said, determined to make it work. And you see the truth, when you put in effort and you're consistent. See, I realized something in life, right? I don't know why I'm talking like this. Well, let's just flow. Okay, I realized something in life that see any result you desire in anything, all right. Informal economy, formal economy, body goals. I'm also a big fan of body goals, health and all that. Um, health, body goals, money goals, financial, anything at all. Maybe you're trying to change your anything. See, all you need, the result you seek is inconsistency. I won't lie to you. It doesn't matter the industry. It doesn't matter the field. It doesn't matter even if it's in your prayer life, even if it's in your cooking, anything, name it. The result you seek, they are all in your consistency. Honestly, you will never go wrong being consistent. All right. And so I was consistent for months. I kept, doing what I knew how to do. People used to tell me. In fact, it was during the the lockdown that I started exploring my voice. Okay, so I just started playing with it. I said, "Oh, okay, COVID. Let me do something. Let me record a voiceover." And I started. And prior to that time, people used to tell me, "Oh, you have a very lovely voice." I'm like, "Ah, thank you. Do you broadcast? Do you work on a radio station?" I'm like, "No, I don't do." "Oh, why don't you do voiceover?" It's okay, fine. So during the lockdown, I started exploring. I recorded one. And people said it was good. I'm like, oh, really? I started editing a video with my phone. I downloaded Viva Video back then, started exploring. Oh, it was good. It was great. I did the paid version, all right, so I could unlock more features. Got so good. I had a couple of friends who were professional voiceover artists. They were working with radio stations, they were OAPs. Good. I met them. Like I was literally on that case. Please teach me, please teach me. And that's how I built little by little. I started gaining traction in the crypto industry. I started doing well with my voiceovers, I started doing a lot of samples because I needed to build a portfolio. All right. Start doing, oh, can I do voice? Can I do video and a voiceover for your brand? Okay, fine. I did it. Like I wasn't paid. Mind you, the software I was using at that point, I was paying like 20K monthly. All right. Not even more. Like 20K monthly. But I wasn't getting any paid gig. I was just doing free samples for people, trying to build my portfolio. All right, so I'm sure if you just know that somewhere, you need this along the line. Okay, so I did that until I landed my first gig. All right, landed my first gig before you know what was happening. I started getting more gigs until up to the point where at this point right now, so I don't even have time to make videos anymore. This is 2 years down the line. Now, remember, I didn't say that these things happened in one day. All right, it didn't happen in one day. There were the days, like for almost a year, it wasn't funny. It was hard for me. I was almost broke, but because I'm a fine girl and I'm fair, I'm fine. God made me fine, so you don't know. All right. Anyway, that's a lighten it. All right, guys, if you're still here, please drop a comment and let's wrap up. All right, I really don't want to take our time tonight. Okay, so let me talk about three reasons why you see that the gig economy is becoming very popular. All right. Okay, before I get into this, now to conclude my story, I remember that. All right, guys, see my people. Thank you. Somebody says I'm enjoying the class. Thank you very much. I can see my Oga fire fall. You're welcome, sir. Thank you so much for being here. All right, that is your God top. All right, so before I move to the three things and the other three things, I remember that in the height of all of that, some persons knew I had left my job because my boss was quite popular and everything. So I remember meeting one of the ladies that used to come to my office, and she was like, "Joy, you left your job," and I'm like, "Yeah, um, yeah, I left my job." All right. She said, yes. Are you looking at getting another job? Like maybe you should go and further your education. And I'm like, oh, please, 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 I beg. In my mind, I'm like, please don't start again, please. So she's like, you should go and think of furthering your education because she is more into academics. She's an academician, all right. And those people that just feel like if you're not in a banking job or you're not serious with your life. So she felt like, and coupled with the fact that things were not working at that point, I really didn't have results at that point. So she just felt like, look at this girl, like you're just being silly, you're just suffering. Like, why don't you go upgrade your certificate, go and get your masters, and apply for a job? Maybe I can consider you. I'm like, thank you very much, ma. After I wasn't even asking for it, I wasn't even asking you to help me. I was even asking you to give me a job. So why this spend 20 paparazzi? Anyway, I said all of that in my mind. All right. But I was just very respectful. And I said, okay, thank you very much, ma. I'll look at it. I'll think about it. Now, there was another person All right. And I don't say this sincerely to spite anybody. I'm just saying it because there might be somebody else who's also in that situation currently. And I hope this encourages you. Remember, at some point I said I'm somebody that thrives on adrenaline. I like to do a lot of things, and that's why you probably might see, if you know me, you see I do a lot of things, not just one. Okay, I get bored, like I feel underutilized when I do one thing. All right, and so I remember in that phase of my life where I was trying to get, stabilized in the gig economy. There was another guy who, he knew me at my workplace, and then one day he called me, one early in the morning, by the way. And I'm like, okay, who's the person that called? Maybe this is, a very good call. And then all I get to hear is, so what are you doing? You left your job. I like the fact that you're very driven, you're very determined. I like your drive, I like your passion. But you should know that this passion and drive, it only makes sense in the context of the, how do you put it now, of like a 9 to 5 setting. That's what he was trying to say. All right, all this your energy that you're just distributing everywhere, it's not going to take you anywhere. All right, you're going to end up wasting years of your life. By the time you're done wasting like 5 years, you're going to come to your senses. I'm like, oh my god, like seriously, is this what I wake up to in the morning? Like, I was literally going to go off the roof that morning, and my roommate was like, please calm down, Joe, what happened? I'm like, can you imagine? Who is this guy? What stake does he have in my life to come and tell me this trash this morning? Sorry, guys, I hope I'm not raising my voice. All right, so he said all that. I was really pained because also at that point, when you're doing something, you believe in it. It's like this thing they say that sometimes you're the only one that hears the music in your head that you dance to. I know there's something here. I'm going for it. It might not be, there might be no result right now. It might look like I'm crazy or I don't know what I'm doing, but can you just give me time? I mean, even my own parents were patient with me. And at this point, I need to celebrate my parents. I celebrate them because they let me explore. My parents believe so much in me. They let me do my thing. They might not understand it, but they let me. And then this person that I don't even know from somewhere is coming to tell me that I'm going to waste 5 years of my life. For what? Like, who are you? All right. Okay, so I was really, really pained. And he came and he said all of that. But I decided not to take it to heart. All right. I just forgot about it. I'm like, okay, don't worry. I'm like, they always say, the end of every argument is a result. Let me work and make sure I get results. Ladies and gentlemen, I am glad to tell you that 1 year later, this same person came to my DM and asked me to teach him blockchain. I think it needs to be a round of applause at this point because what God cannot do does not exist. All right, so guys, I like literally, I felt like this guy. Where's the shame? Like, you were literally just telling me I was going to waste 5 years of my life. He came back, and let me even give you another shocker. Right now, this same person is going around teaching about content writing. Isn't that amazing? All right. Yes, the end of an argument is a result. Yes, I actually learned that from my papa, Selman. Okay. All right. So thank you for that, Pious Paul. All right. So yes, at the end of the day, the results are speaking. I tell you that today, many of those people are coming into my DM and telling me, I'm Joy, I want to learn about blockchain. And that very smirky emoji. In my mind, I'm just giving them like, seriously? Are you done with your 9 to 5? Now, I need to put up this balance. I'm not saying a 9 to 5 is bad. Okay? All of us are made and wired differently. I don't like a 9 to 5. Like, it just stresses me out. I don't like the commuting. Okay? But if that is where you enjoy, please stay there. It doesn't make you better than me. It doesn't make me better than you. We're all wired differently. See, at the end of the day, we also need the formal economy. All right? Some people will always have to do 9 to 5. It's just like when a lot of people push entrepreneurship. I push entrepreneurship too, right? Because I am an entrepreneur. But I also understand that there is a balance. Everybody cannot be an entrepreneur. It's mentally draining many times. Okay, many days I feel overwhelmed. All right, but even the entrepreneur still needs somebody to help him deliver on his idea. You still need people to work for you. So, guys, I'm going to say this at this point. You might not be, cut out for the gig economy. Don't feel bad. We don't all have to follow the trend. If that is where you are, please stay there. If you enjoy your 9 to 5, you're making good money, you're comfortable, you're enjoying it, please stay there. But if you feel like you want to move to the gig economy, you're welcome. It's open. Like I said, barrier to entry is low. All right, so I'm wrapping up now. Let me talk about 3 reasons why the gig economy seems to be very popular right now. Number one is because a lot of people don't actually like their job. And I've said this before, right? A lot of people are doing their jobs because they don't have an option. They just have to survive. All right. And, I really don't blame them. Of course, what if now the let's look at it from this angle. What if I quit my job and I jumped in and it didn't work out? All right. What if that could have happened too? That was a possibility. Okay, so most of us are in our jobs because we do not like it. All right, and then the COVID-19 now helped us, and we stayed at home for a while and worked from home. And a lot of people now began to see that okay, but it's also possible to work from home now. I mean, I enjoyed working from home for the past 30 days. Why can't I continue? And then they began to search for options, and this is the number one reason that's fueled the rise of the gig economy in our times. All right. Now, okay, I listened to a talk show and Trevor Noah, I'm sure some of us know him. He said that if the pandemic is making people work from home and people enjoy it, that means people will be forced to cause more pandemics so they can work from home. And I found that really funny. Okay. Now, the second reason why it's really very popular is because we're at the beginning of a workplace revolution, all right, that calls for a new set of workplace skills and ability. All right, whether we like it or not, the this revolution came faster than expected, especially because of the pandemic. And now, if you read the article or the what am I going to call it now? Because it's more than an article by the future of work. Okay, it states that in the next few years, they're going to be automation and AI is going to lead to a displacement of a lot of people in the job force or in the labor force. But the good part of it is that it's also going to create new jobs, all right, that would need new skill sets and abilities. And this is what is playing out right now. Automation and AI technology has transformed the workplace. It's causing a workplace revolution, and machines are taking over some basic jobs. So if you're going to really stay employed, you probably have to reskill. All right. Then coupled with the COVID, a lot of companies are beginning to adopt remote. Okay, because they've seen that wow, we worked from home for 30 days. It worked, I mean, this is going to reduce overhead costs for us. We won't have to pay for office space. We don't have to. If everybody can work from home and we give them just some, stipend for their data, I think it's going to even reduce cost for us. Okay, and so a lot of companies started adopting it. So these are the two main things that have fueled the rise of the gig economy. Okay, now I'm going to talk about how you can get into the gig economy because you might be wondering. Now, most of us know when we talk about the gig economy, our mind goes to Upwork, our mind goes to Fiverr. Okay, but I'm going to tell you that the main sponsor of the biggest revolution in the gig economy is the blockchain industry. Sorry, is the blockchain industry. Why? Because, like I've been saying, the blockchain. Okay, on my AMA last Sunday, I was saying that the level of unemployment, not just in Nigeria, Nigeria is in a class of its own. I'm talking globally now. The which industry do you think can absorb this level of unemployment? I don't think there's any industry that is capable of doing that. All right, because apart from the fact that they don't have the capacity, the barrier to entry is too high. You probably need to go take maybe another degree, go do a master's. No, it's too high. But you see, the industry that has the capacity to take this unemployment is the blockchain industry. And why is that? Because it is relatively new. It is very new, and the demand for labor is currently it does not match the supply of labor. Like it currently is more than the supply of labor. Okay. Now basic economics. What when demand exceeds supply, price goes up. So what this simply means is that the blockchain industry is one industry where anybody can come in right now and you won't even stay long before getting employed as long as you have the right skill set. Okay, so guys, rather than going on, maybe I'm not trying to dissuade you from all these platforms, Fiverr and Upwork and all of that. I'm not trying to dissuade you, but please, I think we should put more effort into the blockchain industry. Now, how do you get into the industry? I'm wrapping up in like 2 minutes. Okay, how do you get into the blockchain industry? Learn a skill. Now, you can do a simple Google search of what is required, the skills that are required in the blockchain industry. I'm sure Victoria talks about this a lot on our platform. Copywriting, content writing, graphic design, all of these you can learn on YouTube. All of these, I'm sure she has resources, right? And if she permits me, I'm going to be sharing some resources with her so that she can share with us, okay? Where you can learn these things for free. So this is how to get into the gig economy. Get a skill. Check out all the skills that are in demand, because you wouldn't want to learn something that nobody's demanding. Check all the skills that are in demand. Learn one, pick one, learn one. Be consistent. Okay, now I'm going to wrap up at this point by saying that there are three things you need, three life skills you need to survive in the informal economy. Number one is a commitment to learning. Okay, so you need to pick one of those skills. Let's say graphic design, for instance. Be committed to learning it. You need to be committed. All right. Now, number two is you need to put in effort. Okay, you need to be committed to learning. That is okay. Apart from learning with Canva, you might want to upgrade to Photoshop and say, okay, let me learn how to use Photoshop. And then you might want to go a bit further and say, okay, there's Illustrator, let me learn Illustrator. And you want to go, oh, there's InDesign. That is a commitment to learning, a commitment to not staying where you are. All right, number two is you have to put in effort. These things are not going to be easy. It's not easy to learn anything. You probably have a 9-to-5 job at this point and you're juggling it. When you get home, you start learning. It's not going to be easy, but you have to show up every day and put in effort every day. Even if it's not making sense, nobody's applauding you, you're not seeing results, you just have to put in effort every day. And number three, like I said earlier, you need to be consistent. The result you seek in anything, in any area, in the gig economy, in the formal economy, in your marriage, in your relation, everything is in consistency. All right, so I'm going to be closing here, and I hope you got value. Thank you so much, everybody, for your time. I hope you got value. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ma. Like, that's value overdose. Thank you so much. Like, I was really, even with like this, I was just enjoying the whole talk, and I could totally relate, literally, on every side of the story. Whole COVID thing, the whole gig economy, and all, because that's actually the times we're in. We're in times where it's results. Like, you have to be able to show results. It's no longer about how many certifications you have. Even if you have all those certifications, how can you translate them to yielding results? So thank you so much, Ms. Joy, for that elaborate explanation about the gig economy. And I really hope we can make good use of all these things. The reason why we organize this, we bring these amazing people to come and talk to us, is for us to be able to leverage on everything we're learning. We are hearing from them. We are gleaning from their experiences in order to take that leap that we need, in order to apply it to our lives and then yield results for us. By the time we look through their eyes, we learn, we apply, we get our results. So thank you, Ms. Joy, for this wonderful time that you've given us. So everyone, what do we say to Ms. Joy? Okay, thank you very much. Like, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So this recording will be available by tomorrow. So you can listen again, take your notes, and then apply. Application is the most important part of all the things we've been doing so far. The application, and then be patient with yourself to get the results. Be patient with yourself, patient with the process. Like she said, there's one part she said, really, I will always sing it tomorrow till whenever. Consistency. You can't do the same something consistently and don't get results. So apply consistency to whatever it is that you're doing right now, and then you definitely get results. Good night, everybody. Good night.